But you weren't entirely in virus fighting mood. If we look at 273, 872, page 55, we can see part of the seemingly perennial debate in your own mind as to what should be done. Mr. Cummings asks Lee Kane if you could just scroll into that screenshot. Get in here, he's melting down. Yeah. Rich is saying bond markets may not fund our debt. He's back to Jaws mode. I've literally said the same thing 10 times and he still won't absorb it. I'm exhausted talking to him. I've had to sit here for 2 hours just to stop him saying stupid things. Mr. Johnson, you would be inhuman, perhaps, if you hadn't, in that terrible week, oscillated and backed and veered in your own mind about what had to be done. But is it fair to say that you made your doubts and your oscillation clear to those around you?
I think it was my job to address all the consequences of what we were doing and to test the policy, which I was, as you can see, determined that we deliver and get on and do, and it was, even though it was a completely novel policy, absolutely a dramatic thing to do. What he's referring to here is a conversation with the Chancellor, where I'm talking about the downsides, I'm talking about the costs, and how negligent it would have been, totally negligent, not to have had such a conversation, not to have gone through with the HM Treasury, the economic ramifications.
Back at war camp, and as you can see, lots is happening. This is what you were paying for. Every single one of those guys that you see over there, you are paying, what, 100, 200 pounds a day? Maybe even more for some of them. And at the back there, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Thames Valley police officers. We've got Metropolitan Police here as well. This is what they are doing instead of keeping you safe.
Of what I was proposing to do, I need to do that. It didn't in any way. Just I think the key thing is, it didn't in any way stop us, divert us from the crescendo of actions that we took.
Forgive me, the suggestion is not being made here that you, having reached a view on public health grounds, took yourself off to speak to the Treasury and see what arguments needed to be made properly on behalf of the economic consequences that would ensue from a lockdown. It is that your own decision-making, your own judgment backed and veered, and that by implication, this is a poor example of leadership function. You couldn't make up your own mind as to what should be done.
On the contrary, I've made up my mind. We are getting on and doing it. We are not being diverted. I've got the Chancellor of the Exchequer with me, saying that there's a risk to the UK bond markets and our ability to raise sovereign debt. This matters massively to people in this country. it matters to the livelihoods of people up and down the land, I have to go through the arguments. And that is what I was doing.